What is up, everybody? My name is Wes. This is Top Shelfers, and today we're going to be ranking all of Adam Driver's movies from worst to best in ultimate tier list fashion. I'm a big fan of his. I've liked the majority of things that he's been in. Um, I feel like he really doesn't have a lot of misses. However, with that being said, I really am not sure what that 65 movie was really trying to accomplish. I feel like that is by far his worst film, and I don't even think it's close. I really don't even think it's close. And it wasn't necessarily that he was bad in it, right? It was just the movie, the writing, the story, everything else was really not sure what they had in mind there, but it didn't pan out. I gave it a 4.2 on my rating. 4.2 out of 10. So put that in perspective, that's probably one of the lower ones that was a bigger budget movie in a hot minute. Or at least like a bigger budget in the past 5 years that I've given that low. Okay, so let's jump into this. Now, this is kind of interesting, right? Because we obviously have to figure out what we're doing with the Star Wars movies. Obviously, Kylo Ren is one of his most probably popular roles he's been in. At least I would assume most people think Adam Driver and Kylo Ren. Even though I think that it's not his even close to his best performances. But those movies are kind of hard to rate because me being a Star Wars nerd, I really enjoyed Force Awakens, and I enjoyed a Ryan Johnson movie that should have not been a Star Wars movie because he ruined the sequels by the bullshittery that he implemented into it. And then Rise of Skywalker was a hot mess of garbage. So I don't feel like they're that low on this list already, but really, like, I'm not joking. The rest of his stuff is pretty dang good. Like, I mean, from this point on, I didn't give anything below a well, Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi. I both put around a 5.5, but that's just me being a Star Wars fan. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Last Jedi here, and we're going to put Rise of Skywalker here. Well, I'm always torn. I feel like Rise of Skywalker is a better Star Wars movie because you actually have Star Wars related things in it that make sense. Last Jedi, if we subjectively look at Last Jedi, it's a really well put together movie. The story and writing was just horrible for Star Wars, right? I always try and make that, like, make people understand that like the movie itself is fun and enjoyable to watch and is really pretty, and like there's lots of good movie sequences, but the writing and the story like ruined that whole entire sequel. Like I don't get it. I guess we'll put those there. I guess I'll probably put maybe I'll put Gaby here. Gosh, this is such a hard list to do, man. Because, like, I mean, you got like Star Wars, and then you have a movie like Tracks that is just a crazy one. Like, how do I rate those all together? Okay, I guess I'm gonna put This Is Where I Leave You next. Then we'll go into the top 20, which doesn't get any harder. Or doesn't get any easier, I guess. I think I'll put What If here. There's like a lot of his movies just range from that like 7 to 7.8 for me, and I just don't know. It just really comes down to taste. Like, I don't think there's any bad ones here. So I'm gonna put While We're Young there. We'll put White Noise there. I'm gonna put Anita there. Uh, 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 I'll put The Dead Don't Die there. Actually, hold on. We're gonna put The Dead Don't Die lower. I don't know. Thinking about it, I like these movies much more. I honestly probably like these movies. I feel like I'm being criminal to Star Wars here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Because, like, even though they're not good Star Wars, it's still Star Wars. You know? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do now. I guess. I guess I'm gonna put The Man Who Killed Don Quixote. Really like that movie though. um. I have a lot of movies that tie and score here. So it's just like in this moment right now, like how do they resonate with me? Man, I think I'm gonna put the Meyerowitz story here, Bluebird here. That's 13. Gosh, I guess we'll do the report there, then right out of the top 10. What should be right out of the top 10? I don't know. I guess Silence will probably be right out of the top 10. This is a hard one, man. Okay, so then 10, I'm going to put Tracks. 9, I'm going to put Francis Ha. 8 is going to be Force Awakens. 7 is going to be Midnight Special. I think 6 is going to be Logan Lucky. 5 is going to be Paterson. And this is where it gets really hard. So, like, I just saw that, who was it? Someone put out their top 25 of the last decade or something like that. And they had Inside Llewyn Davis is like number 1 or 2. So I was like, I've watched it because Oscar Isaac's the main in that. So I had watched that recently and I'm like, I like it's really good, but is it like number 1 in the last decade? So I rewatched it and I'm like, I mean, it is good. It's well made. It's Coen Brothers. Like they're good at what they do. Like I don't know. I think I'm gonna put that at 4. I'm gonna put Last Duel at 3. And then this right here is where it really comes down to I mean, BlacKkKlansman was a absolute masterpiece. Unique story, impactful. There was a lot going on. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Marriage Story, on the other hand, not fun to watch, but god damn do they capture just the absolute pitfall and and destructive nature of what can happen in a I mean, I've watched it probably 3 times now, And in my eyes, like, what happens when you just can't communicate properly your wants and desires while both being very, like, attached to your careers, you know? And I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen the clips of Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson like yelling at each other, and he punches the wall and all that type of stuff. Like, it's one of those gut wrenching movies that you just see and you're like, guys, like, but like, sadly, either you've gone through something like this or you've witnessed something like this, and it's just so weird how human nature can be. You can fall in love with somebody, and then just over time, you not only do you fall out of it, but you know how to hurt that person with words that are just horrific, and that's what that movie does, and it really is probably the best ever captured movie of just a really bad breakup, you know. But like, it's deeper than that. I really really enjoy it. Uh, with that being said, though, I don't think it's something that was groundbreaking genre wise. Like, we've seen many movies, many stories written like that. It may be one of the best to ever do it. BlacKkKlansman is up there. I was blown away with how much I liked that. Uh, Spike Lee is he's one of the goats for a reason, right? Um, and I just loved how that movie. I don't know. I could say a lot about it, but we'll save it for the future when maybe I'll be doing some straight up movie reviews and talking about specific movies. An idea that I kind of been tossing around for a little while. So, all right. With that being said, now I do know that there is a Rotten Tomatoes Adam Driver, because when I was looking up Adam Driver movies, I happened to stumble across it because I knew I was missing one or two. So I use this to find all those. For whatever reason, there is a couple that weren't on IMDb. Um, Now, I do kind of have a generic idea of where these movies landed this time around, but I didn't go through the meat and potatoes of it. So, all right, they also have 65 at last. I'm really curious what the audience score is because it might be lower than critic. It's 64. Listen, I went into that movie as I tried to with every movie, right? Like, I don't let a Rotten Tomatoes score or critic review or anything like that sway how I'm going to judge a movie or how I'm going to enjoy a movie, because I've been on both sides. I've had that happen in the past and it's ruined experiences for me, right? Like, what's a recent one that last night I watched Bring Her Back, right? And there was a lot of hype around that movie. And I loved Talk to Me, and I love the twins. I used to watch them on YouTube when they were crazy, and they did crazy stuff, and they're awesome. And Talk to Me was one of my favorite horror movies of the last 10 years. Bring Her Back, I was very hyped about it, and I watched it last night. It came out on HBO, and I think I let the reviews hype me up a little too much because I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, So it's I try not to go into movies with that in mind. And everyone heard rumblings of the 65 movie not being great, so I didn't go see it in the movie theaters, and then I waited for it to come out on streaming, and I thought it was awful. So I'm surprised it has such a high review from fans. All right, this is where I leave you at 24. I had that at 22. Rise of Skywalker at 23. We did have that higher. The Dead Don't Die at 22. I had that a little bit lower. White Noise 21. Had that higher. Man Who Killed Don Quixote at 20. Wow, I had that 15. Anita at 19. Had that a little bit higher. What If at 18, I had that lower. Bluebird in My Heart at 17, I had that at 13. Wow. Gaby at 16, I had that at 24. I must be missing something. I thought that this was just I don't know, I didn't really enjoy this one. Okay, yeah, I'm much more in line with the audience score on this one. I think it was bad. I just didn't think it was all that entertaining and just kind of, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, see, I disagree. I disagree here hard. I just didn't think it was, thought it was kind of corny. I don't know. Tracks at 15. Wow, I had Tracks at 10. Well, Tracks is phenomenal. The Report at 14, I had at 12. Midnight Special at 13. Wow, I had that at 7. Okay. Silence at 12, I had at 11. While We Were Young at 11? What? I had that at 20. Yeah, I didn't think that movie was all that great. Huh. The Last Duel at 10. Oh, man. The Last Duel is so awesome. I had that at 3. People are crazy. That movie was awesome. Okay, well. Last Jedi at 9. We already went into detail about that. I'm not going to sit here and complain more. Logan Lucky at 8. I had that at 6. Inside Llewyn Davis at 7. I had that at 4. Oh, wow. The Meyerowitz Story at 6? Interesting. I had that at 14. Francis Ha at 5. I had that at 9. Force Awakens at 4. I had that at 8. It's always ranked really high, and I don't, even though it was pretty good, I don't think it needs to be that high. Marriage Story at 3. Yeah. Paterson at 2. Okay. I had that at 5. What's the audience score? I bet the audience score's low on this. Yeah, much lower than critics. Like, this is one of those, like, you gotta really be a movie buff to enjoy it. And then, of course, agreeing with me, BlacKkKlansman at 1. Just an absolute masterclass of a movie. Highly recommend. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what your top 5 Adam Driver movies are. If you agree or disagree with my list, I'd love to hear about it. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.